It is just a huge honor for me today to be podcast interviewing Alamin Uddin, who's the CEO and co-founder of NexHealth, a patient experience management platform. After working at a doctor's office during his college undergrad years, Alamin decided to start NexHealth to modernize the patient experience. He raised $7 million in venture funding, supports over 4 million patients a month, and works with some of the largest DSOs around the country. NexHealth is a patient experience management platform that empowers dentists to run thriving businesses. It makes it easy for your dental practice to acquire, retain, and delight your patients with features like real-time online booking, digital payments, automated reminders. Alamin helps you maintain patient relationships with seamless digital tech that improves retention, simplifies office work, and enhances your brand. Imagine a platform where you can connect with your dentist, dermatologist, internist, cardiologist, and in my case, psychiatrist, all from one place, and where your providers can coordinate care on you from all in one place. So, where did you get this idea? Where does this come from?
Yeah. So just a little bit of background on me, right? So right now I'm 26, so I'm a fairly young guy. So here was my life plan and career trajectory. I thought I would, go into college, right? Do some research, do a PhD in chemistry, go into a lab, and then maybe in my 40s or 50s or so, go and start my own company, right? I was always into science and technology, things like that. So my undergrad freshman year in college, the City University of New York, I got into a research lab. The professor convinced me, look, you don't want to do research that don't make any money. You want to do an MD. It's gives a good career security. You make money, and you can do research later on, and you can start your own business as well. So, part of that path, right, undergrad years, you got to shadow doctors, you got to spend some time with doctors if you want to go into medical school, right? So what I did, actually, I got a job in the Bronx at an actual doctor's office freshman year, spent 3 years there, just working as a staff member. And while I was there, right, seeing the doctor run his business day to day, spent 3 years there, and just learned the need for the product for myself initially. This wasn't supposed to be a company or a business. I didn't think I was going to go out and raise, $7 million being this young. So it's supposed to be for myself only. And I got a friend who's a co-founder now. Come together. He's doing computer science. I was always into technology myself. Put it together, built it for myself. And then, from there on, we really saw this is changing my workflow as an office staff member, right? This is changing the doctor's life, the business owner. This could be applied to other offices too. So, we went out and raised $50,000 actually only from friends and family, including some professors as well. Got a few customers, and then the venture capitalists came in, and here we are. Yeah.
Wow, I love the way you're thinking fearlessly. You have your anti-gravity boots on, and it's like you got an idea, and you're dreaming, and you're chasing it. So it's always depressing when your guest is younger than you. Than I've been a dentist. I've been a dentist 32 years, and I have children older than you. But healthcare is really changing rapidly. What do you think? From where you sit, when you look at healthcare at a young mind, and what do you think the old guys like us did for 30 years that you guys are looking at it and say, man, this could be so much faster, easier, higher quality, lower cost, more succinct? Well, how do you see the healthcare industry, specifically dentistry?
Yeah. Specifically dentistry, right? If you look at just I would say healthcare, but if you look at the world in general, right, everything is being consumerized, right? Everything is one tap away. Everything is right on your fingertips, right? You want a car, you got Uber now. You want to see a movie, you got Netflix, you got Amazon Prime on your phone now, right? You want to get food, you got Seamless, Grubhub, DoorDash, right? So if you're young, right, you're in your late 20s, early 30s, even 40s, right? Everything is at your fingertips now. And then, if you look at that, right, just like consumerization of everything, all across the board. And then on top of that, right, if you add into just a business model of dentistry, over the last 10 years, it's changed a lot, right? Reimbursements are lower. You have fewer insurance companies and carriers to work with. So as a dentist yourself, right, your business is also being squeezed, which means you want to get to the consumers directly, and you want to go and market to the consumers directly, and you want to give your patients a good experience, and you want to have them keep coming back, right? So I think, that's kind of like the perspective that we come from as a company as a whole, myself as well, which is that, we think that dentistry specifically, and, by the way, so even though we're called NexHealth, we're actually very much focused on dentistry today. All of our customers, almost all of our customers are in the dental field, so we focus a lot on it ourselves. But anyways, yeah, so we think that in order for you to survive as a dentist today, you have to give your patients a really good and convenient experience. So that means, from your patient discovering your practice in Google to in real time with one tap, to texting your office staff with any questions that they might have, filling out their paperwork before they come into the office, and then coming into the office, paying you from their smartphones, or if they have an outstanding balance, then going back home and paying you from their smartphones, getting that preventative care visit, recall, treatment plan reminder, coming back in again, all taken care of through one digital convenient platform. So that's really the value that we bring to the patient and the dentist as well.
Well, I always tell most of my friends, I said, look, we're all running one offices, and you have to wear so many hats. I mean, right. when they're listening to guys like you, they're thinking, dude, I got to figure out a root canal, a filling, a denture, a crown. I don't have extra time to figure out online booking, payments, reminders. I mean, I'm barely breathing through a molar root canal. So, I always tell them, I say, look, if the DSOs, they got full-time people on the business. So they know what they're doing. And what full-time DSOs are you servicing now?
There are some I can name because they're really big.
They can or can't?
Cannot. But there are some I could talk about right now. So if you just look at New York, right, we're based out of New York. We work with almost every large DSO in New York, right? You talk about the Smile List, right? Which we did a press release on recently. You want to talk about New York Dental Associates with over 22 offices. National Dental has over 42 offices. And then, we work with the largest DSO in Texas, for example, with over 100 offices, across the entire country, right? In California, Wisconsin, everywhere.
Yeah. Which is why I wanted you to come on the show, because that's my point. I'm like, dude, you're barely running one dental offices in Podunk, Omaha, and there's people who own 100 offices that are using technology. Yeah. So why would a big DSO why would a DSO want your technology? What are you doing for these big profitable businesses?
Yeah, I mean, so if you're even if you're looking at a small mom and pop shop, right? We have up to 70% of our customer base, by the way, are one doctor offices. So it's not that we exclusively work with DSOs, we work with one doctor offices as well. The way that we pitch ourselves to those offices, right? They're just one doctor, they're busy, doesn't have a lot of time, right? You have to think about us as an extra employee if you're in one doctor office. If you're a DSO, on the other hand, right, you have a full marketing team, you have a full operations team, you have a real business operation going on. We come on board and we help the marketing team, right, acquire more patients. So if you're the marketing team at a DSO, you probably have 5 people in the department. That means you're running SEO, you have Google ads, Facebook ads, you're driving a lot of traffic to your dentists and their websites. And you're driving all that traffic to the website, right? You're running the digital marketing ads and things like that, and that's great. You want to drive the traffic to your website, but the problem becomes is that if I'm a patient and you're a DSO or you're a small dental office and you're driving traffic to your website and you're spending money to do that, and I come on your website, it's 7 p.m. here in New York right now. Most of the dental offices are closed right now, right? I want to book an appointment. What do I got to do? I can fill out a form, right, and wait till somebody calls me back. I can wait till tomorrow to call the office. By that point, you probably lost me already, right? So if you have NexHealth, right, you put up a widget on the website. It's real time. It's synchronized with your Dentrix, your Open Dental, whatever system you're using. We can show the actual availabilities in each opportunity, each column, and the patient hooks themselves in 24/7, any time of the day. So that's what I mean, right?
My homies don't know what a widget is. You put a widget.
Oh, yeah, it's like a button on the website. You know, like you click on the button on the website, right? Like a navigation tab.
Okay.
Yeah.
So so that's online booking,
Mhm.
real-time online booking. So here's what the naysayers say. They say, I don't want, what if she just books it at the wrong time? Like, I'm really busy. I'm in the middle of a root
Mhm.
canal and she booked something. But we did it. And the first day we put it up, somebody used it.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So what would you say to the dentist says, well, that's not going to work in my office because I'm real particular about my scheduling? What would you say?
Sure. Yeah. Which is why we exist, and which is why we actually work with DSOs. So we spent 2 years of our company's life just developing the product, right? So what this means is that we're not going to let patients just book any random times. We're going to qualify the patient for you. Qualifying meaning the type of service that they want. Is it a new patient exam and cleaning, existing patient exam and cleaning, root canal, whatever it is, the type of service they want, right? We're going to qualify them based on their payment method. Are they paying for themselves? What type of insurance do they have? What's the insurance ID? All of that, and then we're going to display availabilities based on all those criteria and the back end mapping that our team worked with you on to set up the entire process, right? So, let's say if you're a new patient exam and cleaning, you have ACNA, that means that we should be showing Opportunity 2 between 2 to 5 p.m. Mondays and Wednesdays only. So you as a dentist, right, with us, with NexHealth, if you're going with NexHealth, you as a dentist, you can customize exactly what you want, which is what I mean, right? We set up the whole thing just like, we were a part of your staff members, right? So we think like your staff members. We have AI built into the system that can really customize it and pretty much act like your staff member. Yeah. So there's really no difference.
So AI, that mean what Python, is that program with Python? I've heard that all AI is Python programming. Is that true? Or?
Yeah. I mean, Python is a huge part of it. There's also R, right? Another programming language they can use. There's all sorts of different programming languages you can use, but yeah, Python is a huge part of it. Yeah.
So by the way, earlier in the show, you said you were from the Bronx.
Queens, actually. I work in the Bronx. Yeah.
So to my international friends, it's really confusing. The largest city in the United States is New York City, but you'll never ever meet anyone who's from New York City. It's you say, "Are you from New York City?" They say, "No, I'm from the Brooklyn, Bronx, Queens, Manhattan." So it's very confusing because I had to fill this question a lot. What exactly is New York City? Because that guy said he was from the Bronx. So why does no one say they live in New York City? Why does everybody live in Queens, Brooklyn, the Bronx, Manhattan?
Yeah. I mean, so I'll give you an example, right? Like I visited San Francisco a lot, Silicon Valley, right? That's where all our investors are, and some of our employees are there too. It's a small, tiny city. If you're in San Francisco, you're in San Francisco. You don't have to differentiate yourself from, wherever else you live, right? In New York, on the other hand, it's a huge city. I mean, there's more than 10 million people living here, right? So when you're
more than how many?
10.
Yeah.
10 million people, right? So that's not most cities. That's a rare exception. So when you're, living in Queens or living in Brooklyn or living in Manhattan, especially if you're living in Queens or Brooklyn or the Bronx, to you, it's a big city, right? So from Brooklyn to Manhattan, that's about a 40-minute drive. It's a huge city. So to you, when you live here, you think about it separately, right? So Manhattan is the city. Brooklyn is not the city itself. Queens is not the city. It's Manhattan. But to the outside world, it all looks the same. I would say, just you spend time here, you live here, so it's a big city, so you just kind of differentiate based on that. Yeah.
So let me just tell you, online booking. I had when I got out of school, Kodak was the biggest company in the world. It was the greatest company. They owned SoftDent, so I had SoftDent 30 years. But I switched to Open Dental just to have this widget on there, and like say, we got a new patient on it the very first day it went live. And I know you're an old dentist and you don't like it and blah, 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 but it ain't about you. It's patient focused, not dentist focused. And there's 168 hours in a week. And you were saying that 73% of the online appointments are booked after hours. Well, of course it's 73% of online appointments are booked after hours because you're only open 19% of the week. You're open Monday through Thursday from 8 to 5. It's like when people say, I can't believe 70% of all the species on Earth are in the ocean. Well, the ocean covers 70% of the earth. You would expect 70% of the species. So 73% of online appointments are booked after hours. And you know what? It's 5:00. You go home and they got an hour commute home. And they're sitting there on an hour commute and they just want to call and make an appointment or they want to do something. And so you got to be patient focused. Your next big feature is online payments. What does that mean? Online payments.
Yeah. So if I can make a quick point on the online booking itself, right? Like, whenever we're talking to new customers, I think they get super surprised that, holy crap, 73% or more than 60, 70, 80% of my appointments are coming after hours. They don't even realize it until they implement it. They think that, people are looking for dentists while they're at work. They're not looking for personal matters while they're at work, right? They're doing it after hours. I think most people don't realize that, it might be inconvenient for you or staff, right? It's a new thing, but you got to do what your patients or your customers want. Your patients want 24/7 access and you got to give it to them. So that's, online booking, online payments.
Well, I think it's cool that you think people, while they're at work, they can't do personal stuff because they're working. You know how many people work for me?
How many people?
about half.
Okay.
So especially if they got a physical job. I mean, you're working assembly line, you're a welder, you're out there doing construction. You can't be making dental appointments during the middle of the day. And then at night or on their way home, they have some time and you're closed and they don't leave messages on answering machines that they didn't get anything done. You just if you're not doing real online booking. Now I know I can't ask you this question because there's no way you would want to answer it. It would be channel conflict for you to say that it works better with Dentrix or EagleSoft or Open Dental, but just in a rare chance, do you like any of those platforms more than the others? See, he's gritted. He does, but he can't say. And I get it. You don't want to piss off all those guys.
I don't want to
channel conflict.
Yeah. But I would say no. I think most people know today who are the best ones. I'll give some examples. I'm not going to specify anyone, right? I'll say no. Open Dental is probably one of the best ones out there today.
Ding, 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 ding. And it's just, is it just because it's open? Is that why you guys love it? Because it's just open?
It's not that, we love it because it's open. I think it's good for the customers as well. There's a lot of customizability, especially if you have ambitions of growing your practice, right? Open Dental is the way to go. It's not a closed system. It's an open system. If you have a good IT team.
Okay, but I got a lot of dentists that tell me they don't get what the difference between an open and a closed system is.
That's a really, I think most people wouldn't get it, right? So a closed system versus an open system, here's what it means, right? If you have a closed system, I'm not going to use any companies for as an example, but if you have a closed system, right, that means your IT team has very little control over your data. Whoever the parent company is has control over that data. Versus if you have an open system like Open Dental, right, that means your team, your internal team or your IT team has 100% control over your own data, your own server, whatever patient records you have, right? So if I'll give you an example, right? Let's say you're looking to sell your practice and someone comes and buys your practice and, they want to transfer all the records over to something else. They'll have a much easier time with Open Dental than they will have with some other system.
Yeah. And if you were coaching she's 25, she just got out of school. She's $280,000. She's opened up her real office. Would you have her spend money in capital equipment servers, or would you have her put it on the cloud and then just pay just pay expenses? I mean, you're either going to buy a server and it's capital equipment and all that, and then you got to maintenance it and put in firewalls and security, or would you put it on the cloud like Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, IBM Watson, or what would you advise her?
Yeah, I would say it depends on what her goals are, right? So if she's looking to just run a practice, right, she doesn't want to turn it into a conglomerate. She doesn't want to turn it into a DSO, right? She just wants to run her practice, then you should definitely go with cloud-based. She should go with something like Curve or Dentist Ascend or Denticon or one of those systems out there. It's web-based. She doesn't need any IT, nothing like that. However, if she wants to turn it into a multi and successful, dental corporation, then that's a different situation. Because at that point, she wants to control her own data. She wants to have it in house, in the back room, in the servers, control all of her own data, all under her own. Yeah.
That is amazing. So your first feature is online booking, which you just got to have. And the other thing, it's impulsive buying. I mean, they look at studies. I mean, some of the studies at a minimum show that at a minimum, 20% of all purchases were impulsive. So all of a sudden she thought, oh, you know what? I had to get my teeth cleaned. Calls your office, goes to your website, and you're closed. So you got to capitalize. Humans are crazy. They're impulsive. And if something makes them think, I got to go to see the dentist, you got to convert that to an appointment. So online payments, what is that all about?
Yeah, online payments is a very, very similar concept, right? Which is, you got to be where the patients are. So here's the typical scenario we run into when we talk to potential customers. Today, a lot of them have outstanding AR, right? Thousands of dollars. And the way that they go about their collection process is that, patient comes in, 2 weeks later, insurance claim comes back, now the patient owes you $300. So what they do is they send it to the clearinghouse. The clearinghouse runs the report and sends a paper statement to the patient. The patient reads it, and then the patient either has to mail in a check or call the office. You're literally trying to collect money from that the patient owes you, and you're making them jump through hoops in 2019 to pay you. With NexHealth, on the other hand, right? So if you're using whatever system you're using, right, we can automatically read whatever the patient owes you, and then all we do is send them a text and an email. The patient taps on their smartphone and pays that bill. Very simple. Without us, there's a collection process, there's a paper statement, there's mailing in a check or calling the office. With us, they get a text, they click on it, and they pay right then and there. No need for login or anything like that, since we integrate with whatever tracking software you're already using. So that's the essential idea. I mean, you can also make online payments available on your website and wherever you want to make it available. But the essential idea is that you want to make it as simple and as convenient as possible for patients to pay you. And the simplest way to do it is text messages. 98% of text messages are read and opened by patients. So you want to send them a text about their bill, and they can pay right then and there.
Yeah. So are you technically a millennial?
Yeah.
So how come I have 4 boys? One, 2 are your age, or anyway, 4 boys, 24 to 30. How come when I call for my boys, the same 2 always answer, and the same 2 always block or deny, don't open the call, then text me back, "What's up?"
Yeah.
And I always think it's just 2 different markets. Some just like to talk. And some can't talk because they're doing something illegal and they can't have their dad see it. The point I'm making is that, I mean, some people would never want to online book an appointment or do their banking online. Other people would prefer to do it. I personally think introverts love online banking more than walking into the bank.
I love online banking.
So I'm going to talk about the next deal, reviews, which is so emotional because my gosh, one person says something. I mean, your whole life, all these people are saying, "Oh, thank you, that was great, that was great." And then one person says, "You were a bad monkey, and I don't like you." And I swear to God, they blow a gasket. Why are they so? Why are dentists so sensitive? I mean, my God, they're just. But anyway, review. So what? It's social confirmation. I need to go get some surgery done, and I don't know any doctor in New York, and so it seems natural to go to reviews. And if all the reviews said I went in for a vasectomy and now I have erectile dysfunction, you probably would want to go somewhere else. So what are you doing with reviews?
Yeah. So, I mean, I want to kind of address your first point, right? That, that dentists go crazy when they see a bad review. And I think it's 100% natural and understandable because you spent, at least minimum 4 years in dental school studying this subject. And then the patient thinks they know better than you do. So it's totally natural, right? Dentists are not a restaurant. They're not a coffee shop. They're professionals. They spend a ton of their life and money earning that degree to be the expert on whatever care that they're providing. And honestly, most of the time, the bad reviews actually don't come because of bad care or anything like that. It comes because of the front desk staff. You'd be surprised, how many business owners or dentists don't train their front desk staff on how to treat their patients, essentially. So that's the first thing. And I think, the reason people leave bad reviews is when they have a really bad experience, most of the time with the front desk staff, they rarely, if ever, leave happy reviews. So that's, where we sort of come in, right? Which is we want to, we know just by human nature, people, when they have a good experience, they don't go home and open up their laptop and write a positive review. They only do that when they're actually angry and had a bad experience. So the question is, how do you get those happy patients to write their reviews, right? So here's what we do. The patient comes into the office, at the end of the day, we send them a text saying, hey, how was your visit with, Dr. Johnson, let's say, right? They rate it 5 stars, and we say, would you mind posting this to Google? All they have to do is tap one more time, and they post it to Google. We make it extremely simple and convenient for the patients, and we take the review process to where they are, which is their smartphones. All the hassle out of it, and all they do is tap twice, and they post their reviews. Essentially, the idea is that, angry patients will leave you bad reviews no matter what, right? So you got to tap into the happy patients, which are 99.99% of the time patients are happy, and you got to get them to post their reviews. Through that process, we improve. We have thousands of practices where we've taken them from 3 stars, 2.5 stars to above 4.5 stars. And the real magic comes in, what you mentioned earlier, which is that if I'm, looking for a new dentist, right, I'm looking at the reviews. The real magic comes in is when you can do real-time online booking from the review sites themselves. That's where we come in as well. You increase the reviews. Patients come in, they'll have the positive reviews, and then if you make the online booking, you want to have the Google review site or the Yelp review site, Facebook review site. It's a beautiful, simple process to acquire new patients. Yeah.
So this is why it emotionally upsets me. So have you been following the one in the Phoenix area where somebody left a bad review on for an endodontist? Have you been hearing about that one?
I heard something about that.
Oh my God. Yeah. So what he does is he replies on Yelp. I attempted multiple times to contact you so we could handle our concerns in private. You chose to put your grievances on an open forum, which means now by law, you have forfeited your right to the Doctor-Patient Confidentiality Act. And I regret that I must proceed with this openly. And now he's going to go, now this endodontist is headed right to the Arizona State Board of Dental Examiners. And I'm just sitting here thinking, my gosh, I mean, you can't please everyone. There's even 3 people on earth who don't like me. I mean, imagine that. When I get a email complaint from this show, I always reply back and I say, "Hey, buddy, I hope you realize your email's been hacked into because look what some asshole wrote and sent to me. I know that wasn't you." But anyway, you know what? If you have to please everyone, you just need to go back into your bubble and you know what I mean? I mean, my gosh. I mean, but anyway, this endodontist Gus, he's in big trouble because he just can't let it, and based on your own experience, I mean, I know I might be jaded at 57, but what percent of the 8 billion humans on earth would you say are crazy?
Oh, that's a hard question. I would say it depends on your definition of crazy, right? I mean, I would say good amount, I would say some people are crazy, yeah.
Oh my God. I'm always surprised when the Farrans have a family reunion that the CDC is not there doing like DNA testing to see what the hell went wrong. But yeah, I mean, people are crazy and these reviews are so emotional and I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what went wrong in your childhood that some feedback makes you so sensitive, but it's just it just gets you in trouble. I want to go. So we talked about reviews. Next up, reminders. What's your deal with reminders?
It's 2 things, right? One is if you're a dental office and you have patient schedule, the next couple of weeks, you got to remind them of other appointments, right? Otherwise, they're going to forget. You got to get them to confirm it. Otherwise, your staff are going to spend a ton of time on the phone. trying to confirm them. So, we automate that process, right? We send them a text and an email, and the patient can confirm right then and there. But the interesting part comes in with us is that, we actually have an AI chatbot built into the reminder. Here's what I mean. So, let's say you as a patient, right, you get a reminder confirmation, or maybe, you get a reminder about your hygiene cleaning. Maybe, you have an overdue treatment plan, whatever the reminder is, you get that reminder. And then you have a couple of questions, right? You want to ask the office some questions. So when you text that system with us, right, when you text us or the office some questions, we're actually able to handle the basic first few interactions with the patient. So if a patient wants to maybe reschedule their appointment, since we're also doing your online booking, we can get them to reschedule their appointment. If they're canceling it, since we're also doing your online booking, we can get them to cancel their appointment. If they have some questions that we can't handle, then we pass it on to the office managers. So anyways, yeah, it's just reminding patients and getting them where they are, which is their phones and their text messages about their treatment plan, about their preventative care visit, about their next appointment, whatever it is that they're coming up. Yeah.
Okay. The neatest thing about dentistry is recalls. I mean, there's not many businesses where all your customers come back twice a year. It's an annuity system. It means they trust you. And so what do you when you spent 2 years building a software, what did you think of the dentist recall system, and what are you doing to try to use technology to help it better, faster, easier?
Yeah, I mean, from our perspective, I would say it was probably one of the most inconvenient process that I've seen anywhere, really. I mean, you have a patient they need to see every 3 months or every 6 months, right? And they want to come and see you because, a lot of people, not all people, a lot of people think their, teeth is very important to them, especially deaf kids, right? So, before we came on board, here's how the recall process would typically work. It would either be the staff calling the patient during business hours, most people are working, or it would be, some sort of system that they have in place that would send a text and email to the patient, reminding them about their recall appointment. The problem is that, most people, when they get that text or email, they're at work. They don't have time to check their personal emails when they, are at work, right? So what happens, they go home, it's 9 p.m., 7 p.m., whatever it is, after hours, they check their personal emails, they get an email from their dentist saying, hey, you're due for your cleaning, please, call our office to book an appointment. Your office is closed at that time, right? It's after business hours, 7 p.m., it's 9 p.m., whatever the time is. So that means, as a patient, I got to wait till the next day, find some time within, my busy work hours to call you. With us, we get rid of the entire process, and it all goes back to real-time online booking, which is that, we send the patient a recall, we embed your actual availabilities, the hygienist's actual availabilities into the email or the text, and all the patient does is tap on it and they book their appointment. So, without us, it's a 5-step process, a bunch of phone calls. With us, they get the text, the email, they tap on their smartphone or their computers, and they book their appointments. Simple as that. Yeah.
And it's just the easiest money. Two-way messaging. I'm already thinking this is a millennial thing. This is like a Snapchat thing. I can't see grandma, but what is the two-way messaging? And is there really 60-year-old grandpas using it?
I mean, I would say not. I mean, so here's the thing that I think that most people don't realize is that, when we look at our user stats, right, most of the time that's being spent by an office manager or office staff is on the two-way messaging portion of it. Because, here's what happens, right? So if you need to call a patient about their pre-op paperwork, if you need to call a patient about, an overdue treatment plan, whatever it is, right? It's the same problem. People are at work. They have jobs. They're not going to pick up your phone and you're going to leave them a voicemail, right? Or the other problem is, there's a lot of spam calls happening. I don't know if you get a lot of spam calls, Howard, but I get a lot of spam calls. I ignore all my calls. If my dentist is calling me, they're probably going to miss me because I don't have that number saved. So with two-way messaging, right, what you can do with NexHealth is you can send a quick text to the patient and the patient can read it. 98% of the time they open it and they can text you back. This could be done any time of the day. They always read their text messages. People read their texts. They don't talk to the phone. It's very convenient for them. So that's the whole concept. To the patient, it's as if they're texting a friend, right? Just like your son loves texting you, right? Very similar concept. It's like texting the dentist, right? As opposed to a phone call. Yeah.
And
Just like your son, I ignore most of my phone calls too, by the way.
from your parents?
Not from my parents. So I'm a good son.
So one of the things that people
Yeah.
don't like automated is anything to do with no shows and cancellations. But then again, you know, people say things, but they act another. They get
Yeah.
more mad when they're waiting for their 4:00 to show up and it's 4:10 and they go, that jerk didn't even call. It's like, okay, so you don't want to make it easy to cancel, but you're all upset that they didn't cancel and they didn't. So what are your thoughts on no show and cancellations?
I think I'd rather make it easy for patients to reschedule or cancel than them not showing up at the last minute. Because, you know, most patients, right, if they need to cancel, but they don't have an easy way to cancel it, they're just not going to show up. So that means, you know, you have that slot open and you just lost production there, right there. You don't want to do that. So with NexHealth, though, what we actually do is, you know, we make it customizable for you. So, you know, if a patient does cancel, what we can do is actually, so let's, you know, tomorrow at 2 p.m., someone canceled. So all of a sudden we have a 2 p.m. slot open, right? We can automatically reach out to people that are on your ASAP list. We can automatically reach out to people that are maybe overdue for the treatment plans and then send them a text message saying, hey, you know, we have a last minute opening tomorrow at 2 p.m. I know you wanted to come in earlier, or, you know, you have an overdue treatment plan. Please click here to book your appointment. And the magic is that, you know, since we're also doing real-time online booking, people can just book themselves into open dental, dentrix, or whatever system that they're using. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think. So after that feature, ASAP list. What is ASAP list?
ASAP list is it's basically, you know, you want to put patients on a list that want to come in. Let's say, you know, the patients want to get on the dentist schedule, right? And they don't have any openings for maybe a couple of weeks or a couple of days, and the patient wants to get in sooner rather than later. So you, as a practice, you can put them on a list saying that if there's a last minute opening, you know, I want these patients that are on the ASAP list to get priority, and I'm going to either call through them or text them. And let them take a last minute opening. So it's a very easy and convenient way for you as a practice to fill in last minute cancellations, essentially, with patients that are more urgent and they want to get in sooner. Simple as that.
You know, one of the things that I think is that shows that dentists are amateur and the Fortune 500 is obviously very sophisticated. Now, remember when I was born in 62, the average Fortune 500 company was older than that, it was about 60, 65. Now that I'm almost 60, the average Fortune 500 company is under 20. So the burn and churn. So I always tell people, just always steal all the great ideas from the legends at the S&P 500. I mean, you can see what they're doing, steal their ideas. And the dentists are always stuck in this the last generation marketing. I want to market new patients. Whereas all the S&P 500, they're like, okay, everybody's flown Southwest once. We want retention programs. We want Chase Bank rewards. They're all trying to build reward systems to keep their existing patients, while the dentist just wants to burn and churn new patients. Do you agree with that or disagree?
I 1000% agree with that. Based on the stats that we have, it actually costs you 25 times higher to acquire a new patient than to bring in an existing patient. And on top of that, right, existing patients, if you get a new patient, right, you're probably going to get a cleaning and an exam out of them, right? With an existing patient, you're going to probably get a much higher production value out of them, right? Maybe they need a filling, maybe they need a crown, right? So it's way more effective to get existing patients back into the office, just based on the data that we have, and it's much easier as well to get new patients in. And you should have a loyalty program, just like airlines do. You should have rewards for patients that come in every 6 months. And I can't believe dentists don't do this, which is, that's a feature that we're actually working on now, which is we're going to let, dentists build reward programs so that if a patient comes in, every 6 months, twice a year, gets their cleaning done, or, shows up to all the treatment plans, 100% show rate, et cetera, that, they'll get discounts, they'll get promotions, they'll get Amazon gift cards and things like that. And that's a very, very important concept that I think dentists don't take advantage of today.
So I really like that. So to acquire a patient, you're helping the dentist. And by the way, how much is this a month?
It depends on the size of your practice, but it starts off with everything. It starts at $300 and it can go up to $450 a month.
Okay, so a Benjamin a week, let's say.
Yeah.
You're going to add real-time online. And by the way, this isn't a commercial. In fact, he didn't even call me to be on the show. I called him to be on the show. The reason I called you to be on the show is you had some really amazing answers on Dental Town. I'm a big fan of your posts on Dental Town. And in fact, you can just tell that we're all doing root canals, and you just see this thing from a different level. When I mean, all my homies, if they're gonna study dentistry, it's gonna be about bone grafting, not ZocDoc's pricing structure in New York. I mean, what the hell do they know about ZocDocs? They're trying to learn. And your work on Google Ads, you said something that shocked me. You said, you say, may I suggest that you try Facebook ads instead? Facebook ads cost significantly less than AdWords. And from what I've seen, the ROI on Facebook ads is second to none, which I want to agree with, because Mark Zuckerberg's dad is Ed Zuckerberg, who's a dentist right outside your place. And he's bald. So he's got everything going for him. He's a bald dentist with 4 kids. But it says nearly everyone is on Facebook, and targeting capabilities are incredible. And nobody knows what you meant by targeting capabilities are incredible. What did you mean by targeting capabilities are incredible?
Yeah. Do you remember how about a year ago Zuckerberg was on Capitol Hill testifying in front of Congress?
His son, not the dentist.
His son, right. Yeah. So the reason he was there is because of concerns that Facebook collects so much data on people. Not only on Facebook, right? You don't even have to be on Facebook. As long as you're using the internet, they collect so much data on you, and they have such detailed profiles of you that at every instance, right, at every moment, they can track all your interests. That could be, for example, right? If you maybe Googled a new dentist, if you maybe Googled full arch replacement, let's say, right? You Googled whatever it is, right? Facebook knows that. And what Facebook can do is, help you narrow down, right? So, if you're a dentist, right, and you're, let's say, in Brooklyn, right, you don't want to advertise in Arizona. There's no need for that, right? So what Facebook does is that they let you narrow down people by age, by interest, by what they've been searching, by if they visited your website, maybe if they're in your local area. So it lets you be much, much more cost effective and actually target the people that you want to target. It's like a real life town that you have all that data to, and you have really detailed demographic information that you can just target people by. Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. I mean, you can, if I wanted to, right, I can show Zuckerberg's dad an ad right now. It's really, really powerful.
You could show Zuckerberg's dad what?
An ad right now if I wanted to, through Facebook, because Facebook has all the data on his dad. All of us, not just his dad. All of us. There are billions of users.
I think it's so funny how people always you never listen to their words. You always listen to their actions, and you've heard all the words of why everybody in the world should delete their Facebook app, and no one does, because the bottom line is when I am Google searching something. I love the fact that Google knows after a million searches that I'm a dentist in Phoenix. And if I just type in John Smith, Google will find the only damn dentist on earth, because they know. Exactly. So if you never delete your cookies, and I never do, mainly because I don't know how, but I mean, it all helps you, because they're just trying to figure out what the hell you want, what the hell you're looking for, what are you doing? And on those reviews, I just want to tell you that when I go to a website and they got 5 reviews and they're all 5-star that say you're wonderful, then you immediately start thinking, oh, I bet his mother and his 4 sisters post all those reviews. I think it would be normal that if for every 5 reviews, someone said, I don't think Howard was any good at all. I mean, I just got totally abused just yesterday on a review. And
Yep.
because I wouldn't pull the tooth, I told him he needed to see an oral surgeon. And I said, look, I'm not touching this. You need to go to an oral surgeon. So he goes and immediately posts that all he cared about was the money. And he just wanted the money. It's like, dude, I didn't charge you for an exam. I didn't charge you for X. I just, so people have two different perspectives of the same event. I mean, I've heard Schlesinger's cat people say that there's no such thing as even you, because let's say I'll prove you don't exist, because if you have like 10 people that you spend a lot of time with, well, they all see you differently.
Yep.
And then even yourself, you see yourself differently when you're up or down, or from 5 years ago to now. So when someone goes to Wikipedia and says, oh, this was the life of Alamin Uddin, it's like, no, the 10 people in his life don't even agree who Alamin is. And Alamin doesn't even agree who he is half the time. And so I don't know. The way I tell my boys this, I say, look, when you were born, 110 billion humans have already come and died. And there's 8 billion alive today, and you're never going to meet 99.9999999% of them. So why the hell do you care what Karen thinks?
That's right.
You know, almost every single person is dead or you'll never meet. So who cares what Wally thinks? But I'm gonna go back to your deal, because I like I say, I called you to be on the show. You didn't call me, but so he's gonna help you acquire him. He's gonna, with real-time online booking, 73% of online appointments are booked after hours. Most patients want to book online, even though that seems very strange to a grandpa. I mean, I don't even like the ATM machine. My kids are saying, well, just go through the drive-through. Dude, I want to park and walk in and see Shirley for 30 years. I want to pick up my sucker. I want to ask her how her grandkids are doing, but I get it. Other people don't. But then you're talking about smarter stuff with retaining patients, automatically send post-op instructions, automatically send hygiene reminders, follow up with patients overdue for their treatment plans, real-time online booking with all your reminders. And another thing that I do, I'm old school, but my dental assistant will actually put the names of the people that I need to call, and she just puts it on. She can email it to me, or she can text it to me. And I just push my thumb on it. So I got an hour commute home, and I'm sitting here saying to you, Alamin, how you doing? What's up? But you want to retain the patient, because a new patient only buys $1, and a $3 is a retained patient. Because if I come into your app, so Alamin runs an ad, hey, cleaning exam and x-ray for $1. And I'm like, oh, I'll do that. So I go in there and get my cleaning exam and x-ray for $1. Then here comes Alamin saying, oh, well, you have 4 cavities. They're $250 each. You owe me $1,000. I'm like, oh, I see what you're doing. Bait and switch. So you're selling the invisible. It's all a game of trust. And by the way, the reason I don't get sued is because when I do a denture for $1,000 and she says, I don't like this and I want my old one back and I wish I want my money back, I give her money back. I mean, she lives 5 blocks from my office. I don't want some pissed off lady living 5 blocks from my office for the next 30 years. I mean, what is wrong with people? You know what I do? You know what I do with all my over 90 people who won't pay? You know what I do with it every year?
What do you do?
Well, this country is big into Christmas. I mean, Christmas, it's huge. The atheists, the agnostics, the Buddhists, everybody loves Christmas. And so what I do is, it's such an emotional time of year. I just get a bunch of greeting cards. All right, hey, Alamin, man, we've had a great year. And obviously you didn't have a good year because you never paid your bill. But with the spirit of Christmas around the corner, I've adjusted off your bill. You don't owe me anything. All I ask in return is that the next time you or one of your friends or family needs a dentist, that you come see me. They come in, they're crying. They bring in cookies, pumpkin pies. One lady knitted me some whatever. I don't even know what body part it was for. And you weren't going to get paid anyway. So what do my friends do? They send them to small claims, make an enemy for life, It's I don't want an enemy for life. I don't think you can bomb your way to peace. I don't think you can screw your way to virginity, and you're not going to build up your reputation by
Yeah.
doing all this stuff. So I'm into
Yeah.
retaining, and that's what Chase Bank is. That's what Southwest
Yeah.
Bank. Anybody who's publicly traded doesn't want to market for a new patient. They spend
Exactly.
all their money on retaining. And then
Yeah.
your third section is delight. Let patients book real-time appointments with you 24/7. Let patients text you just like they text a friend. Let patients pay you through text and emails. How does someone pay you through text and emails?
Yeah, it's like what I was saying earlier, right? So you're sending letters to your patients during Christmas, right? Um, Now imagine instead of doing that, you send that letter through text and email, and then you had a link in there where they could pay you right then and there, right through the text, right through the email.
So
So
does
when
that mean I have to have a PayPal account, or do I have to?
you don't have to have a PayPal account. We're the merchant. You have an account with us, right? We'll set up everything. You just got to put your bank account in, so we know where to deposit the funds. And yeah, as soon as you do that, it's all set up and ready to go. And then text messages go out to your patients automatically, and all they do is click on the text.
So when you finally have all these dentist credit cards and you decide to bust a move, drain their accounts, and flee the country, what country are you going to go to? What are you looking into? Brazil? Are you looking into Sydney? Where do you think you go? Like when people say to me, they came out of dental school, but then they went to 3 years of grad school. So they come out of dental school 400,000 debt, but she went and became an orthodontist. And then when she's in ortho school, she married an orthodontist. So now they're $1 million in debt. And they're like, Howard, what should I do? And I say, well, I would move to Rio de Janeiro or Sydney or Berlin. I would just change my name and flee the country. But I don't know if that's legal or not. I'm not a lawyer, just for the record. I am a dentist. So I think it's, so you say right now you integrate with Dentrix, Dentrix Enterprise, Dentrix Ascend, EagleSoft, Penn Dental, Curve Dental, Chrono Dental, Google
Analytics. Yeah.
So what is Penn Dental?
Well, we work with over 22 different dental software out there, so not everything is listed there. But one of our, since we work with a lot of the major DSOs, right? I mean, they have some of them have hundreds of offices. They all use something different, and we just got to be able to cover all of them. And that's like one of our core value props, which is that we can integrate with and we can work with all the dental software that's out there. Yeah.
Yeah, and one of the things, the dentist, I got to wrap this up. We're over an hour, but one overtime question is a lot of dentists sit there and say, the reason, Alamin, I really don't want to do this is because I don't even know how I'm going to train all my staff to use all this stuff, and I'm not going to learn it myself. I mean, they still got buttons on their microwave and their remote control that they don't know what works. How do you train and educate your team to use all these features?
Yeah, I mean, I have two answers to that. First is that the program is automated, meaning once you set it up, right, there's AI built into it. It does everything for you automatically, so your staff doesn't have to spend any time on it. Second thing is, yes, your staff does have to learn how the system works, so they know how to interact with it, right? For that scenario, what we do as a company is what we call a customer success rep. We assign a customer success rep to each and every customer that we have, and that person, it could be Dave, James, whoever it is from our end, will be with you as long as they're working with us. They'll train all your staff. You have unlimited trainings. They'll be your point person. They'll answer all your questions, all the education needs, everything they need. They'll take care of it for you. Yeah. So we have an actual person that works with you to set up everything, train your staff, even yourself.
Okay, and so what is your exit strategy? Are you planning on doing because you're in New York? Henry Schein owns Dental One. Yeah, they're buying up every internet property around. I mean, is your exit strategy to go to Melville, New York, up the street and have Stan Bergman write you a big fat check?
No. I mean, I think what we're doing here is building $1 billion company that's going to be on the New York Stock Exchange in 3 to 5 years. That's what we're building here. Henry Schein, it's a great company. They're buying up everything, right? I think what we're doing here is bringing the patient experience, bringing the dentist to the 21st century. Some of the players out there, they were founded in the early 1900s. We're the 21st century company, And we think there's a huge opportunity to do that, to bring the dental work to the 21st century. And, we think it's $1 billion opportunity. And
And that's the growth of civilization. I mean, the telegraph people thought they were all that, and they were ran over from behind by the telephone, and then they were ran over behind. I before you were born, Motorola and Nokia each had half the cell phone market in the world, and everybody said. And when Steve Jobs said he was going to do deal, everybody said, "Are you out of your mind? I mean, are you not aware of Chicago and Motorola and Nokia in Helsinki, Finland? They're going to eat your lunch." And now those guys. So again, when I was born, those S&P 500 companies were about 60 years old. Now they're not even 20 years old. And if I had my bet and money between a really old Henry Schein and some young guy, Alamin Uddin, oh my God, the young guys, they always run over the old. But don't worry, old guys, you're always going to get ran over from behind. You won't even see it coming. It'll be painless when the steamroller hits you. Alamin Uddin, CEO of NexHealth. It's www.nexhealth, NexHealth.com. Thank you for posting such amazing thoughts on Dental Town. And thank you so much for coming on the show today and talking to my homies.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me and inviting me over. You're great to talk with. Yeah.
Have a great day, buddy.
Yep, you too. Thank you.